Now, if your workflow is anything like mine, you import way too much footage into the project panel when you're working here in Premiere. Like if I'm doing something with B-roll, I'll import all the B-roll that I've ever had access to in my entire life for every project all the time, just in case. Same thing with like audio. If I really don't have a soundtrack, I just need some background music, I'll bring in all the audio that I have rights to just to check it out. So oftentimes my projects end up looking like this, having this type of ratio where I have just a handful of clips that I'm using compared to the zillions that I have in my project panel that I've never used. And this gets much more difficult and complex when I've also used bins and I have sorted and organized my clips, which I usually do. So that makes it great for working. But then when you want to clean things up, you got to go through every single folder. It's kind of tedious. So there are a couple great features here that you can use to clean up your project. Go to the project manager again, the project menu, project manager. In the last movie, we looked at collect files and copy to new location. Go ahead and check create new trimmed project. This kind of changes things a little bit. Basically, what this allows you to do is it allows you to create a new version of your project that's cleaned up a little bit, that removes footage that you don't use. Now, technically, what this is actually doing, it's allowing you to include media from selected sequences. So if you just want the media from just a few sequences, let's say, for example, again, you're going to go travel somewhere and you have all of your desktop and all of your hard drives and everything like that. And maybe you're just going to edit a certain sequence, maybe just like one, like the car chase scene or something like that. And so you just want the footage from the car chase scene. That's why you would create a create new trimmed project. You would select the car chase sequence, and that would be here. And then you would create a new trimmed project. When you create a new trimmed project, this option to make offline becomes available. And that doesn't mean what you might think it means. It might seem like it would take all of the clips that it's gathering and make all those clips offline. It doesn't do that. It only works for clips that you've captured that you can make offline and then recapture later on. So clips like this that are from hard drive based formats and things like that, or clips you've got somewhere else on the internet or whatever, it won't make those offline. With the create new trimmed project option, you'll also be able to include handles if you'd like to do that. And then as before, we can recalculate by clicking the calculate button. And we can also browse to choose a place where to save this. And once we're done, we click OK. Now, if you just want to clean up the project panel, you can actually just go to the project menu and then just choose remove unused. That goes through and takes out everything that you don't use, which dramatically cleans up your project. So usually if I start getting the rough edit down, I have all the clips in my timeline that I know that I want, then I'll usually do that. And if I need to re-import something later, like one at a time, just like on an as needed basis, then I'll do that. But that's a good way to clean things up once you kind of know where the edit is going.